Okay, in this video, I'm going to show just the basics of how to get started with Enscape. Um, so before you start Enscape for the first time, you need to go to General Settings, and this window is going to pop up. Got to make sure that hardware accelerated ray tracing, our expensive graphic card driver does not work with Enscape. We can't get it to work, so we got to use just the regular processor. So it will crash Enscape if you leave that checked. So make sure you check that. I mean, you don't have to check that every time. Once you turn that off, it's done. So then you click on Start. And Enscape opens in another window. So typically you can have your Revit on one screen and your Enscape on the other. So I'm going to bring my Enscape screen in. So since my view active was the 3D view, because I had the 3D view going on here, Enscape starts out in the 3D view. And just to show you some stuff here, I gave you the keyboard shortcuts. H hides this. So as you get started, you need to have the stuff on the right to figure out what the look around. So you can use keyboards. So that's W, A, S, D. Fly up and down is E and Q. You can also use the arrow keys on the keyboard. So you notice it doesn't look too spectacular. So we're going to go into the sky here. And instead of white ground, we can put it in any environment we want. So let's put it out in a town. Or maybe we'll put it in a forest. Okay. Now it'll look better when you're inside of it, but when you put your thing in the forest, you can rotate. This is like a 360-degree image. So you can get whatever image you want. You can change the clouds and everything on this. So we'll show you how that works on the inside. Now let's go in and show you how you get your So say you have a 3D view set up. So I've got one 3D view set up here. It's called 3D view 1. And it's basically just looking at this wall. But if you've got one like in your laundry room that you set up in Revit and you saved it, you named it as a name. When you're in Enscape, let's get that back up here. When you're in Enscape, it will take you into that view. So let's go ahead and change my Revit from the Enscape window to 3D view 1. And what you're going to see here is it flew me into my Enscape window where I was. And this is kind of what I was talking about. Even though you're doing an interior rendering, and we're going to put a ceiling on here, even though you're doing an interior rendering, it's nice to have something nice to look out the window. It makes it look that much more realistic. So if I go here and I rotate, let's get this so you can see what happens. You can rotate it until it's kind of the view you want to see. And so this does kind of look like the lacrosse area for people that do their capstones. And then you can change the amount of clouds in the sky if you wanted a cloudy day or a sunny day. You can change the variety. You can change if it's got like, if it's a foggy day, so let's make it look foggy. Ooh, it's really foggy out. It's kind of misty this morning. Where the height of the fog is the fog up higher off the ground, or is the fog down lower close to the ground? And then you can also change the time of day. So time of day is you or I. So if I click out of this here and I go in on you or I, so you can see sunrise, sun's coming up, sun's moving around. Now, this is all great on the outside, but it also does impact the inside where the sun's shining into your building, even if you've got a ceiling in here. And once we put lights into rendering, into Revit, we can adjust the lighting in the room. We can do night shots and everything. And then you can also drop in people. So let's go ahead and find our people. So that's under the asset library. So she looks like she'd be nice just standing there contemplating her view. And then I hit apply changes.